Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to my reaction channel. If it's your first time here today, I welcome you on board. My regulars, my patrons who support me, my subscribers, you are all welcome. Today, I have for you the boss, Bruce Springsteen. This song has been selected by, or requested for by a guy called Uncle Phil, who is one of my patrons. As you all know, my patrons, they get to have a guaranteed reaction request from me. So today he's asked for a song called The River by Bruce, and it's a live version. So without much further ado, guys, let's go check out Bruce Springsteen, The River live.
How you doing out there tonight? That's good. That's good. This is, when I was growing up, me and my dad used to go at it all the time. Over almost anything. But, I used to have really long hair, way down past my shoulders. I was 17 or 18. Oh man, he used to hate it. And we got to where we'd fight so much that I'd spend a lot of time out of the house. And in the summertime, it wasn't so bad, because it was warm and your friends were out. But in the winter, I remember standing downtown and it would get so cold. And when the wind would blow, I had this phone booth that I used to stand in. And I used to call my girl like for hours at a time, just talking to her all night long. And finally, I'd get my nerve up to go home. And I'd stand there in the driveway, and he'd be waiting for me in the kitchen. And I'd tuck my hair down on my collar, and I'd walk in, and he'd call me back to sit down with him. And the first thing he'd always ask me was, what did I think I was doing with myself? And the worst part about it was I could never explain it to him. I remember I got in a motorcycle accident once, and I was laid up in bed, and he had a barber come in and cut my hair. And man, I can remember telling him that I hated him and that I would never ever forget it. And he used to tell me, man, I can't wait till the army gets you. When the army gets you, they're going to make a man out of you. They're going to cut all that hair off, and they'll make a man out of you. And this was in, I guess, 68, and there was a lot of guys from the neighborhood going to Vietnam. I remember the drummer in my first band coming over my house with his Marine uniform on, saying that he was going and that he didn't know where it was. And a lot of guys went, and a lot of guys didn't come back. and a lot that came back weren't the same anymore. And I remember the day I got my draft notice. I hid it from my folks, and 3 days before my physical, me and my friends went out and we stayed up all night. And we got on the bus to go that morning, man. We were all so scared. And I went and I failed. I came home. Nothing to applaud about. But I remember coming home after I'd been gone for 3 days and walking in the kitchen, and my mother and father were sitting there. My dad said, "Where you been?" I said, "I went to take my physical." He says, "What happened?" I said, "They didn't take me." And he said, "That's good."
Wow. A lot of you, a lot of you who watch my channel probably know that my dad is no longer here. So listening to this song now, you know, it's the most obvious thing. As anybody who watches this video or who listens to this music, right, will think of their dad. And I just had thoughts of my dad, you know. And when he said something about how his dad cut his hair and he never forgave him, I remember a story that happened to me as well, because I think I was about 14 or so, right? And I always used to like do weird things to my hair. I've always been like that, you know? And in those days, you know, the ladies, they had this hot comb that they used to use to like straighten their hair. This was an Afro thing. I don't know, maybe it happened with white people as well. So my sisters and my mother had just done their hair. So I took that hot stretching comb and I stretched my hair with it, and it makes it like long, you know, if you know what I mean, you know, like James Brown, that kind of thing, you know. And my mom went to report me to my dad, and what he did was he cut my hair. He didn't cut in a way that, you know, like a normal haircut. He cut it in batch, you know. He made it look ugly, and it was supposed to be a punishment. So he says to me, "Now, don't touch that hair, you know, leave it like that. That is how you're going to carry it out." But me being the smart, creative that I am, I turned it into a hairstyle. And when he saw it, he wasn't happy about that. So eventually he made me go and cut the hair properly into a proper haircut. And, you know, this just got me thinking about that. And I just wonder, maybe the story that he told is a true story of him and his dad, or it's just a song that he's just written, you know, because if it was, right, it was very, very touching, the part where the dad said to him, "You have to go over to Vietnam, you know, the army are going to get you, you're going to go over to Vietnam and they'll make a man of you." And then he goes for the you know, the drafting test, and he fails. And then his dad was glad that he failed, and that just put a lump in my throat. And it just shows that, you know, parents, no matter how much they get on your case, deep down inside, they really, really love you and want the best for you. And now that I'm a dad, I know what that is all about. And really, that intro just put a lump in my throat. You know, it's the song hasn't even started yet, you know, and he's got me all messed up. But it's all good. Now let's go listen to the real thing. Excuse me, guys, sorry.
I come from down in the valley, where mister, when you're young, they bring you up to do just like your daddy done. Me and Mary, we met in high school when she was just 17. We'd ride out of that valley down to where the fields were green. We go down to the river Then I got Mary pregnant, and man, that was all she wrote. And for my 19th birthday, I got a union card and a wedding coat. We went down to the courthouse, and the judge put it all to rest. Oh, wedding day smiles, no walk down the aisle, no flowers, no wedding dress. That night we went down to the river, into the river we died. Oh, down to the river we cried. Got a job working construction with a Johnstown company. But lately there ain't been much work on account of the economy. Now all them things that seem so important, oh mister, they just vanish right into the air. I just act like I don't remember, and Mary acts like she don't care. But I remember us riding in my brother's car, her body tan and wet down at the reservoir. That night on those banks I lie awake and pull her close just to feel every breath she takes. Now those memories come back to haunt me. They haunt me like the curse. Is a dream a lie if it don't come true? Or is it something worse that sends me down to the river? Oh, I know the river is dry. It sends me down to the river tonight. Yeah, yeah. Oh, down to the river, my baby and I. Oh, down to the river we ride. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that wasn't a very, very nice ending. It just ended just like that. And guys, I hope you know this is not my fault. You know, this is the way this video is. It just ended like that abruptly. You know, I was in my elements, you know, enjoying that music, and it just anyway, back to the song. It's amazing how with one song he's managed to take you to through two different emotions. You know, I must admit it took me a while to get out of the place it took me to, you know, thinking about my dad and my relationship with my dad. And then I thought he was going to carry on that level. And then he goes into a relationship with Mary, you know. So it's like it's dealt with love, but in two different contexts, you know, love with your father and then love with your partner or love with your loved one, you know, romantically. And I'm thinking that for some people here, this will be like almost too much to handle, you know, because dealing with one love relationship is complex enough, you know, but having to handle two on the same day, not even the same day, at the same time, you know, within minutes of each other. I'm lucky that, you know, me and when it comes to like matters of the heart, I haven't really had you know, a bad time or a hard time. So, you know, I don't need to go into a place where I'll be like, damn, you know, most of the places I go into are happy places. But there's some people here who have had like a very complex relationship with their dad, and then they've also had like a complex relationship, you know, with their loved one, with their partners or their wife or husband or whatever, right? So I can just imagine what those of you who are in that situation, how much this has pulled you from left to right, you know. I don't know. Strength unto you guys. You need it. The music, beautiful, you know. One of the best things I've heard from Bruce Springsteen, definitely, man. I loved it, you know. I'm a sucker for the harmonica. I hear that in any song and I'm sold already. So that was like a very, very good starting point for me. And I liked the steady groove and the steady rock, you know. No guitar solo, which is very unusual for a Bruce Springsteen song, you know. But maybe it was going to build up to that because the song ended abruptly, you know. I know that Bruce Springsteen is famous for having these shows that go on for 62 hours. So for all I know, this song could have been, I don't know, 20 minutes long. A beautiful song, you know. It's, you know, the emotions of it all. It's just wonderful. Like I said, in love, you know, I'm lucky that I haven't had too many sad stories. So when he was singing about him and Mary, I could only look back, you know, and remember good times, you know, how me and my girl started and all that, you know, the steps and everything. But with my dad, that was a different case. It wasn't bad. I didn't have a bad relationship with my dad. In fact, I thought it was quite good. It was just that I wish I could have done more with him, because it was that kind of relationship where you when your dad is around, you all have to go to your rooms, you know. You don't really get to like talk, you know, to each other as a friend. You know, it was more like, yes, daddy, no, daddy, and that kind of stuff, you know. And he was a funny man. And once in a while, you saw the funny side of him, you know. But it was more like, oh, dad is here. I better rush to my room and go and study, you know. I wish it was more like we had a playful, you know, relationship, you know. And then the time when that was starting to happen, when I was older and I could like talk to, because I left home at 18. So I never got to spend, you know, 18 was the age where I could really like sit down to talk to him. But I left home at that time. And when I left home, the only time I went back was one time, and then he was dead. So yeah. So well, anyway, I enjoyed this, you know. Uncle Phil, thank you for this for this selection. I really, really enjoyed it. And thank you for making me remember my dad fondly again. You know, I appreciate that. I hope you all that watched this, I hope you all had happy memories from this. Another sad part from this was about the about those who've been to war, you know, and lost their lives, or who've been to wars and came back not being the same person. I feel for you guys, and I hope if there are any of you in that situation watching this, I hope you're like in a better place now. And for those of, you know, for those who are not watching this, who are in that situation and still alive, I pray for them that they're like in a better place. Thank you guys for watching. If you have a reaction that you want to make, and you want to make a request, and you want it to be guaranteed to be done by me, because it's so hard for me to do all these requests, you know. If you're a patron, that is the only time that I can guarantee that. Otherwise, I still do reactions, but it's like I have to pick and choose because it's so hard. But my patrons, part of the perks they get for supporting me is that they got guaranteed reactions. So if you want one of those, check in the video description and you'll see how you can go about that. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope I see you again if you're like a first comer or a newcomer. I hope you enjoyed yourself enough to come back. If you enjoyed this video, by the way, please give it a like, because that way YouTube gets to share it with more people, and that'll be great. And I thank you for that in anticipation. Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I hope you do. There are worse things you could do. Take care, right, guys, and I shall see you at the next stop.